guys, it's Lexi. I have some wax empties to share with you. This is what I worked on for the last half of the month of September. Most of this wax that I'm going to talk about were things that were kind of like fall inspired, fall themed wax. So I'm really excited to share my thoughts. I went through a ton of Rose Girls wax this last half of the month. So I think I'm gonna start there because I have a lot to go through. And I kind of have this broken down into some of my coffee blends that I worked on first. So I did have 3 coffee blends from Rose Girls, and I had her marshmallow pumpkin coffee, and this was a sample I put in my dining room. I think I put all of these for the most part in my dining room. This one here is pumpkin spice latte, and this one is salted caramel latte cookie land. So 2 of these were latte oils, and then the other one was just a coffee. And I think I've kind of come to the conclusion that when it comes to Rose Girls coffee blends, she's got like her espresso bean, she has espresso, she's got latte, and she's got coffee, which I want to say on its own is like absolute coffee. And I think my personal preference for a coffee blend oil from her is her espresso or espresso beans. To me, it comes across much more like authentic, whereas I've noticed from melting the pumpkin spice latte and the salted caramel latte cookie land, just personally, I think that these are maybe a little bit too sweet of a coffee for me, which is weird because I like sweet coffee blends, but I think that like the coffee scent itself, like that's within the other things, I think it on its own is just such a sweet scent, like a latte is a sweet kind of coffee. So and it's like kind of almost like creamy, like you can almost smell like the creamy kind of quality to it, which I think I prefer more of like, it's weird because I love sweet coffees, but I think I like more of like a kick of the coffee and then like just an added sweetness rather than like a sweetness from the coffee, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Either way, all of these were nice. I did enjoy all of them, but I do think I have other scents from Rose Girls coffee blends that I just really love over these 3 that I tried. I do love the Cookie Land oil on its own, of course, but then the caramel latte, it was just such a creamy scent that I felt like I just wanted like more of a coffee kick from it. But I think if you love like creamy coffees, then that would probably be a scent that you would love. And then as far as like the pumpkin spice latte and the marshmallow pumpkin coffee, these were nice in the sense that they were not like overly pumpkin spice, like spicy. They didn't have like an overwhelming like cinnamon spice or nutmeg spice or pumpkin spice kind of a spice to it, which I appreciated, I guess. But neither one of these were anything that I was like, oh my gosh, I like need more and more and more of, but I did enjoy them for when I melted them. So that's my thoughts on those. And performance wise, it was like a medium high for all of those. I also have 2 scents. This one was like in the shape of a little owl, and I want to say this came in maybe like the Halloween sampler last year. It's 100 Acre Wood, which is chestnut, sandalwood, marshmallow, fireside, and vanilla. I really enjoyed this. I kind of had been putting off melting it because I just was like, I don't know, I feel like it needs like a certain time of year, but it was a very cool day when I melted this, and it just kind of had like this nice warmth to it that kind of made the house feel warm without being like a bakery warmth. It was just like almost like more something like you could wear on your body, like a body care kind of a scent. I really enjoyed this. I don't know if I necessarily would go out and actively seek more at the moment, but once I get my collection down a little bit more and I see it pop up next fall, I'll probably grab a little bit more then. This one here is Vermont Honey Apples and Royal Sugar Cookie. This one is strange. It was 2 chunks that it came in, and honestly, overall, I put 1 chunk at a time in my bathroom warmer, and it's kind of an odd place, I realized, to put a bakery scent, but the Vermont Honey Apple scent on its own, I want to say is like a Bath & Body Works dupe, and it's kind of almost like this perfumed kind of apple scent, so I thought maybe it would work in there, and it was kind of an overall light scent. So this one, out of like all the Rose Girls that I melted, this was one of the lighter ones that I had, and it was in a bathroom, so I was surprised by that. It just kind of gave like a light kiss of sweetness in the air kind of a thing, but I don't know if I'd necessarily go out and repurchase that one. I have... Oh, this one is very good. Okay, let me talk about this because this one was very surprising. This was a chunk muffin in apple cinnamon peach cupcakes, which is apples, cinnamon, peaches, and buttercream cupcakes. And I really put off melting this one because it was just so spice heavy on cold that I was like, I know I'm not going to be able to like really enjoy it because it was just so spicy on cold. But then I put this in my warmers and it just became like this really beautiful, authentic like cobbler scent. Like it really smelled like an apple cobbler or like an apple peach crisp, or like something where you could get like the spice, the cinnamon spice that's in this just mingled really well. And actually, you know what? Scratch the cobbler, because the cupcake came through and it reminded me almost of, there's this apple, I've talked about this on my channel before, I know I have. There's an apple spice or like an apple applesauce cake or something that they call it at an orchard nearby here. And they make it every single fall season. And it's like this super dense, rich, moist apple spiced cake with like this thick cream cheese frosting on top, and it's delicious. You don't get any cream cheese in this blend. However, I feel like you definitely, if it was added in, it would be amazing. And it would be even more like that scent, but there was like this dense, thick richness, and then the spice totally worked. When it melted, I was like, okay, I get it. On cold, I was like, this is gonna be overwhelming, but it totally mingled in well and it worked really well. Surprisingly, I enjoyed this, and I did not think I would on cold because of that spice. So I would repurchase this next season if I saw it come back again. So that was apple cinnamon peach cupcakes. This one here is another chunk muffin in snickerdoodle butter pecan cookies, which is a blend of snickerdoodle cookies and butter pecan cookies. This pretty much smelled like exactly what it said. It was very authentic to like if you took a snickerdoodle cookie and like almost like a butter pecan, I don't know, cookie, but like a butter pecan ice cream kind of a scent, and you just took snickerdoodle, sandwiched it between that ice cream and ate it. That's almost the kind of way that this smelled. Really good performance, like medium high. I enjoyed that. And then I have sweet pumpkin pie, cider lane, and marshmallow smoothie. This one was another chunk muffin, and I really love Jenny's sweet pumpkin pie oil. I have that on its own, and then blended with all of these other things, it totally worked. I enjoy that oil, the sweet pumpkin pie on its own. In this blend, it was really nice. I would say that to me was the thing that kind of came through the strongest, was that sweet pumpkin pie. It's such a realistic, delicious pumpkin pie oil. If you haven't tried that on its own and she offers it and you've tried this and you like that, then I would say you probably would enjoy the sweet pumpkin pie on its own. It's such a good scent, and I did like the blend quite a lot. Then I have pumpkin pecan waffle Cookie Land. This one was really good. If you love her Cookie Land, then I feel like this is like the perfect fall Cookie Land blend. You cannot go wrong with it. It just smelled like the sweetest, most like rich bakery scent ever. Like this, I had this going throughout my whole house one day, and it was like just so beautiful. It was just like pumpkin pecan richness, goodness. Love this, very strong. Definitely would purchase more of that. I also have Dutch apple pecan ice cream, and this one was really nice as well. So a lot of these blends this past month, kind of like how I talked about with the apple peach cupcakes, they had such heavy like spices kind of coming through on cold that I was a little unsure, a little bit uneasy going into it, because I'm not totally a huge spice lover. But this one, when you melted it, also I think the ice cream came through very strong to kind of help balance the spice from that Dutch apple oil. I think it's just Dutch apple. I know I've seen her blend this with, I think, like, what is it, apple fritter donut holes. I'm not sure if that's the same like apple fritter oil as the Dutch apple oil. I'm not sure, but it's kind of like that similar, like you can almost get like a cobblery, kind of like a cinnamon spiced cooked apple quality mixed with a rich creamy ice cream. This was really good. Thinking about it makes my mouth water again. Then we have Crackling Birch Fluff Puffs, and I finished up this bag. This one was also a huge surprise, because I remember when I melted this initially the first year, last year, I don't think I was like huge on it. I liked it, but I wasn't like in love. I was just like, yeah, it's really nice. But I was like, I don't know if I would want more of it. And then this year I melted it, and I was like, no, I think I would definitely need to seek out more of this. It's Crackling Birch Monster Cookie and Marshmallow Smoothie. And this kind of reminds me of like a heightened version of Vanilla Birch from Bath and Body Works. So the Crackling Birch has more of like a smoked kind of quality to it, because of, I think the crackling must be because it's like a fire roasted birch scent. But it's got like this, it's got more of a depth to it than like just the plain vanilla birch. But then the vanilla kind of quality from the vanilla birch comes through because of the marshmallow smoothie and the monster cookie. And it just kind of makes like this really delicious, like you're outside by a fire in the fall and you're roasting marshmallows and you've got cookies, and it just is like the sweet, smoky, outdoorsy, like woodsy scent. It's really beautiful, and I really enjoyed this one, and I would get more of this for sure. I have another bag here, so we're gonna move on to some different vendors. So I've got one bag from Zape. So this is apple Pecan, which is orchard trees, autumn leaves, and freshly picked apples. I have one more clamshell of this, and she didn't bring this one back this year, and I was honestly really bummed out because this is a beautiful outdoor apple scent. Everything in here just puts you in the spot of like you were outside amongst nature in like an apple orchard, but in the distance there's like taller like pine trees, fir trees, like wood surrounding the orchard, and you can smell all of that fresh fall air mixed in with like that crisp apple scent kind of mingling. It's beautiful. I love this. I hope that she brings it back next year because it's an amazing performer, and I really want more of that scent. I love it. Then I have a Rainbow Melts bag in New York, which is Farm Stand Apple, Cider Lane, and Leaves. And I'm not sure if the leaves in this was a like Leaves Bath and Body Works leaves blend, but to my nose, this also kind of came across as like an outdoorsy fall appley scent. And then I kind of was hoping that the Cider Lane would be stronger in this and add like a little bit of a sweetness, but this was mostly just like a outdoorsy apple kind of scent. I do think I prefer the apple picking over it. I have Sammy from Britta's Creepy Treasures, and this one was a sample sent to me in library coffee and caramelized pralines. This one was nice. It was more of like that library oil that came through, which is kind of like a, I don't know, does it have like, there's like this kind of like sweet woodsy kind of quality to that library oil. It's, I think, books, I don't know, vetiver or something. I'm not really sure what the note is. But it definitely wasn't a coffee heavy blend, and it definitely wasn't like a caramelized praline heavy blend. I felt like the thing that shined through the most was that library oil. I liked it, but I don't know if I would actively go out and seek more of that particular blend, but I have a lot from Britta's I do enjoy. This one here is Lemon Cream Pie, and today is October 3rd. This was a sample from L3 Waxy Wonders. Totally did not expect to like this as much as I did, but I did really enjoy this, and I had this in my bathroom warmer. I loved the creamy lemon balanced with like the Palo Santo vanilla kind of mix that is today's October 3rd. Really didn't think it would work. I thought Palo Santo and lemon would go weird together, but I really liked it. This was one of those scents that I saw that was like from L3 that I was like, this seems like a bit of a gamble, but it totally paid off, and I really enjoyed that one. I would probably pick up more of that also in the future. Then I have some scents from Midnight Daydream Wax Company. So let me start with this one. This was like a 4-ounce souffle cup, which he didn't offer a lot, but I'm just so happy that this one still performed because I was worried. This was getting a little bit older. From, it was July of last year, so I guess not incredibly old, but it performed beautifully. It was Autonomal Coffee Shop, which is a blend of his Autonomal Equinox oil and vanilla coffee. And I really cannot explain what the Autonomal Equinox scent is because I don't have the scent notes. If I can find them, I'll try to figure and list them here. But if I can't find them, it's like this sweet, I don't know, like it's like this almost sweet like tartness. There must be cranberry in there. And there's also like this slightly masculine kind of quality. I think there was like, I really can't know. I don't remember. I think there was like Grecian fig or some kind of like earthy kind of quality. It was almost like masculine, earthy, sweet, tart. Really an interesting oil. I think it was a single oil maybe. I don't know if he made that blend or maybe it's a body care scent. I'm not entirely sure. But mixed with coffee, I will say the Autonomal Equinox oil was the strongest. It was the coffee you could smell, but it was not overwhelmingly a coffee blend. I loved this. This so badly. Melting this made me like want Harrison to come back so bad. Like I was like, damn it. Like his wax really was like next level. So I hope he comes back. And I split this up in my 4 warmers in my living room and it lasted like 2 days. So Really bummed out he's not back. I loved that scent. Definitely happy that I melted that and enjoyed it. I have 4 more from Harrison. So I have 2 that I kind of mixed today, and I know that seems weird, but I took one of these 2-ounce scent shot cups, cut it in half, and then did the same to this one and split them both between my 4 living room warmers. So I have caramel apple cobbler, which is warm caramel apples topped with streusel, and I have pumpkin cream cheese cupcakes, which is pumpkin spice cupcakes and cream cheese frosting. And I thought that like pumpkin apple cobbler cream cheese cupcakes, it all just is like, it would work. I thought it would all just like work really well together. So I blended them all, and it honestly just kind of smells like a fall bakery. It just smells like a blend of all of those things. The strongest thing that I can smell right now, because I'm melting this all right now, is the cobbler kind of quality from like the apple cobbler. So that's definitely coming through as like the cinnamon apple kind of cooked baked apple scent. But I'm really happy that I'm using these and that they're performing well still. That's great. I have Midnight Daydream Wax Company's Barber Sweater, and that is in my bathroom right now. I split this up between 2 days. It's barbershop and sweater weather. This is a beautiful blend. If you like barbershop oils, I feel like blended with sweater weather is like the most wonderful, clean, fresh, like outdoorsy, masculine, like kind of fall blend. It just works like really, really well together. Very, very happy with this, and I know Tom likes that one too. And finally from him, I have lemon pumpkin shortbread. I also melted this in my bathroom, which is weird because it's bakery, but that's fine. It is vanilla bean well, frosted pumpkin cupcakes, and lemon icebox cookies. I really like that lemon icebox cookie oil. It's beautiful. This one was like a light medium in the bathroom, which is surprising, but this one is, I think, the oldest out of all of them. So I'm so sad. I don't want to use his wax. I want to keep it, but it's not going to last forever. So I'm working my way through finishing up his stuff and just hoping that he comes back. So moving on to a few other vendors here, I have the melted mousse. I have one thing. This is the only thing I had left from her, and this is Mousse Lodge, which is a cozy blend of apples, caramel, maple, and warm vanilla. I want to say that this is a single oil, like Rustic Lodge, I believe is what this one is called, and it smells just like that oil. A really nice oil, especially for the fall season, so I enjoyed that. Then I have a Scentsy sample in Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. This is a scent of the month for October coming up. And I got this in my whiff box. I put this in my I put this in my kitchen warmer. One kitchen warmer late at night after I'd filmed the video that day. And I was just like, you know what, let's test it. It's weird. I don't know if I like this one. And usually I really do enjoy most like pumpkin scents. But then like the notes you read for this, it's like pumpkin drizzle with like a warm like maple drizzle, something like it doesn't have like cherry and pineapple in the main like description of the notes for this, but then you like read the top, middle, and base notes, and then two of those are like very fruity things like pineapple and cherry. Those are like very, very like summery fruity scents, and I felt like I could smell the pineapple and the cherry with like a cinnamon kind of quality. I don't know if I loved this scent. I think what I would have to do is to really test it, I feel like I would have to get a whole bar and like melt it throughout my entire living room to like really test it. Based on the sample alone, I don't think I would want to actively seek out more of it, but I don't know. I'm very curious if anybody else has tried that, what your thoughts are on it. To me, I just thought it was a little weird, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm a little weird. I have 3 other things from Scentsy. These are not a part of this melting basket. However, there was only like 3 or 4 like cubes left in each of these. And I was like, they're kind of just taking up room and I could make more room. So that's what I did. So let's start with Bright Cider Light. This is a scent that I had in my Scentsy Club and will put back in my Scentsy Club once it goes away in the catalog. I'm sure it won't go in the summer catalog next year, but this is like the most incredible, very caramel heavy cider. Like it's a very authentic, warm apple cider scent mixed with like a really rich, heavy caramel sauce kind of a scent. It's delicious. This lasted 2 days, was very strong. Definitely would recommend that and buy more in heaps and droves. I have cinnamon, caramel swirl, and pumpkin roll. And both of these were just okay. It's so funny because I really expected to love at least like one of them a lot, but I don't think either of these would be like club worthy for me. I feel like they're just like kind of not generic in a bad way, but they're just kind of like classic pumpkin scents that you could probably find from most like companies, like whether that be like a vendor wax company or a like large retail brand company, or like, I mean, like they're just kind of like, they're nice bakery pumpkin scents. I'm not saying anything's wrong with them. And if you love them, then that makes me super happy. But to me, they didn't like make me feel like I couldn't live without them. So neither of these would go in my Scentsy club. Pumpkin roll, I feel like has definitely that kind of definite like cream cheese kind of more bakery-esque kind of quality. And then pumpkin cinnamon swirl, I feel like it's definitely more cinnamon heavy. I can't remember if one of them really stood out to me more. I don't think either one of them were like huge standouts. So that was those. Then I have 2 more empties, lemon pumpkin shortbread, kind of the same idea. I only had like 2 things left of this, or like 3 things left. This one was really, 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 really good. If you guys see this in Walmart, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's Better Homes and Gardens. And it is something I melted last year, and I wrote on the back, 8 out of 10 pumpkin spice Fruit Loops. I would say that was pretty much exactly the same performance this year. I don't think it was like super lighter, but I felt like this is just like a good, strong performing wax either way. It really smells like if you remember like the Apple Jacks cereal, I think I still make it actually. It's almost like Apple Jacks, but make it Pumpkin Jacks. That's kind of the vibe that I got from that, mixed with a little bit of like lemon Fruit Loop kind of a vibe. It was really, really good. And then this one is Aloha Pineapple Pumpkin. This one I also melted last year. And this is like a really nice blend. So it's kind of funny because there's pineapple and pumpkin in this. And there's supposedly pineapple and pumpkin in warm pumpkin drizzle. I definitely recommend this one over this one if you want a scent. And I don't think they're supposed to be like the same thing. But the pumpkin in this came across a little bit more like strong, and it like seemed more intentional. Whereas this one, I felt like it just didn't seem to make any sense. I was like, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's not working. This one, I was like, I know what they're trying to do, and it's totally working. So definitely recommend this one for sure. I don't think I've seen it around. I love the little like jack-o'-lantern pineapple guy on it. I think he's super cute. So definitely recommend both of these. If you see these in your Walmart, grab them. I think they're great. Really quickly, I do want to mention some things that I melted but didn't finish. So this is literally all that's left of that melting basket. Did melt some Manic Mario Madness, and this is part of the Mario sampler or Mario launch that she does, which is Macintosh Madness, Blueberry Muffin, and Vanilla Ice Cream. I loved this. Oh my gosh, this is so good, you guys. It's like the perfect balance between apple and blueberry and like bakery, but like creamy bakery goodness. I like could not recommend this scent more too. Like I love this darn scent. It's so good. I did melt a little bit of this Dutch Apple Cookie Land scent. I think that this is going to go back into my November basket because when I melted it, the performance was still very strong. So I'm not super worried that that one is gonna be like scentless in another month. So that one I'll just throw into my other basket. So you'll probably see like a lot of these scents coming up in November, and hopefully I can finish them up by then. But I still think I accomplished a lot. I'm really happy with the work that I was able to do this month as far as working down my stash while still being very busy this month with personal stuff and just work business stuff. So I'm feeling pretty good overall. Did you guys have a good month of melting? Do you feel like you're melting more now because it's starting to kind of cool down? I don't know if it's cooling down where you guys are, but do you guys feel like you're melting more if you're home more, or do you feel like you're melting less maybe? I'm very curious to know.